globalists operate. For 16 years, 14 on air, I have done nothing but pore over their operations, studying them, reading their own declassified manuals. Clearly, I have no doubt in my mind, just like I did before 9/11, they are preparing to launch massive terror attacks in this country. I've been saying it the last 3 months, before the underwear bomber, before 2 weeks ago announcing we will be hit the next 3 to 6 months by the Pentagon and by the FBI. And Obama, I should have covered this as the top story today, it's the top of Drudge, is saying in the Associated Press, if you criticize him, you're going to allow al-Qaeda to attack. In 2003, during the election, Cheney told U.S. News and World Report in a print interview, and he went on Meet the Press and said, if you get in the way of what we're doing and criticize us and investigate us for torture or for this war, you are going to allow a nuke to go off. And he smiled. Now, clearly, the neocons are running the show. There's no doubt of that now. Their foil, Obama, is exposed. Wayne Madsen, do you agree with me that the only card they've got, I even use the term card, is fake terror and wars, and now they're saying play the war card, knowing if they really attack Iran, we won't have to sit around waiting for fake terror attacks. Iran is going to go absolutely ape.
Well, and we'll see that if they do. I noticed that one of the things being pushed now is for Russia to withdraw its engineers from the Bushehr nuclear power plant on the Gulf that's being constructed. Now, that would be the green light for an attack on that power plant. Right now, they won't attack it because a lot of Russians will die, and that will create a firestorm.
But they blew up Serb posts with Russians in them. They attacked South Ossetia with Russians.
Oh, sure, and that's all part of it. Now that we see a friendlier government to Russia and Ukraine, what I think is going to happen, we're going to see Russia, Ukraine, and Turkey. And Turkey, of course, has had it with the neocons as well. And that gets into what Sibel Edmonds said a long time ago about the Turkish, the Turkish deep state. Now we know there's a group called Ergenekon, have been active in Turkey for decades, an old Gladio behind-the-scenes underground movement that has been linked to Israeli intelligence, and they find out that a lot of Turkish generals have been involved in this, and one of the things they've tried to do is overthrow the government of Prime Minister Erdogan, who basically has taken Turkey on a much more independent path. And but I would say that with Russia, Ukraine, and Turkey, the regime in Georgia, the Saakashvili regime that was put in there with Soros money, their days may be numbered. So we may be seeing another outbreak of hostilities in the Caucasus very soon. It may not be Iran. It may spill over to Iran, but we may see something happen in the Caucasus first.
So what's the word in D.C., Wayne, with all your contacts? I mean, are they mulling attacking Iran or going with these crippling sanctions, as Israel has called them? I mean, what's the 50-50, 60-40? I mean, are they going to hit Iran and when?
Well, I think they've always wanted to hit Iran. I've been writing about contingency plans that have gone hot on occasion during Bush and now under Obama. That is the neocon wet dream, really. That's what they want to do, and I think they will stop at nothing to seek a military confrontation with Iran, and Iran knows it. I mean, yes, there are some terrible ideologues in the Iranian government, but we have to realize that there was Western involvement in that Green Revolution, yet another themed revolution a la George Soros, and I think we're going to see a lot of blowback from that involvement by the West.
Stay there, my friend. We're going to come back and talk to you for 5 more minutes, then calls and all the different important news is coming up right here on the GCN Radio Network. I'm Alex Jones. The website's rnfowars.com. The ratings are pouring in for our new free iPhone app to listen. It's all 5 stars. We'll be right back. All right, final questions for Wayne Madsen of WayneMadsenReport.com. Check it out today. Wayne, I know you're working on this story. The G20, they openly announced world government a few months ago. But I saw the Australian newspapers all reported, headline, secret banker meeting in Australia, the heads of the central banks, 24 total. What are they meeting about? How does this tie into China and their military saying dump U.S. bonds? Why is China saying this? What's really going on in this secret meeting?
Well, you know, there's secret meetings, so we don't really know. We we can postulate, all we want to, but the fact is that these bankers have these secret conclaves. I understand Geithner went to another meeting up in Nunavut, which is the Canadian Arctic territory. It's one of the most remote places on the planet. And what in the world was going on up there? What was going on with this meeting in Australia? Of course, they just had the meeting in Davos, where the head of security was found dead in a hotel room next to the Congress Center. I mean, this is stuff like out of a Dan Brown novel. You can't make this kind of stuff up, but I do know that the people at the Federal Reserve are quite proud of the fact that they meet in secret. They call that place the temple, and no information leaves the temple. And all this idea of more transparency, I think, is just a bunch of hogwash. They're trying to do it. There's a big PR campaign because they know that they're under the gun, and there's more people talking about the Fed now than ever in the past, and they're trying to do damage control. But the fact that these bankers meet in secret, I think, speaks loudly to what their agenda is. They've got a secret agenda.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we've gone from the public not even knowing that the Federal Reserve was private to some polls as high as 91% that want to abolish the Federal Reserve. I think the bottom line here is more and more the elites are cornered, and this private corporate structure that's captured the U.S. and used it as a vehicle of tyranny is in a lot of trouble, but they're going to play the war card. They're going to play the staged terror attack card. Wayne, when do you think they're going to play the card?
It's hard to say when they're going to do that, but, right now Washington has had like well over 2 feet of snow. We may have another foot or more coming tonight. You can see how this town just grinds to a halt, even with, this extreme weather. So anything that would happen here, just looking at how the city has just shut down, the federal government is shut down for the second day in a row right now, and maybe shut down for more days this week. It doesn't take much. And of course, that's the weather. But if it was a terror attack, either in Washington or some other major city, of course, they could play that card, as you said, and try to ram a bunch more legislation through.
Will they pull the terror card first before they go into Iran, or will they hit Iran and then Iran will actually fight back and that'll be called terrorism?
It's hard to say what their contingency is for this. Of course, Iran, the worst-case scenario is Iran will bottle up the Strait of Hormuz. They'll sink a couple of super tankers and hit the refineries in Saudi Arabia. And if that happens, of course, if you think gas prices are pretty high now, wait till they jump up till, could be $7, $8 to $10 a gallon, and that's what we'll see. And then last question: why is China getting so mad at the U.S.? I mean, we've shipped all our industry there. We're letting them not have the carbon taxes when we're going to have them. Why is China threatening the U.S. so much right now? Well, I think they've found U.S. intelligence fingerprints on the riots in Xinjiang province and the Uyghur region. Of course, Soros was known to have been involved in the Tibet uprising, and of course the selling of weapons to Taiwan. These are all China considers, and we recognize Taiwan as part of China. And this is just like tweaking the nose of the dragon. Remember, during the Cold War, they said we tweaked the nose of the Russian bear. Now we're tweaking the nose of the Chinese dragon, and I think it's all this power politics to return to the old days of some neo-Cold War.
I agree. They're saying they've kicked it back off, and of course the real target's us, the American people. But the globalists know we'll tend to go along with their tyranny if they're menacing us with outside threats. Wayne Madsen, thank you.